Hi everybody and welcome. This is Ruth here at Artful Stampin', and today is Monday, so I'm going to be creating some designs that are a little bit more masculine in nature, hopefully helpful to those of you who do have to create cards for the men, for the guys, for ladies who perhaps don't like it so frilly and pink. So this is an attempt at that. So for inspiration, I looked at men's shirts. I went to a couple of websites and had a look and to see what are men wearing these days, and admittedly I did very much look at patterned shirts. So what I'm going to do is attempt to stamp onto dark coloured cardstock. To start off with, I'm going to be using this is Misty Moonlight card and Night of Navy. And then over the top of that, I'm going to be stamping using the white craft ink pad. Now, the white ink pad that you may have, if you have ordered this from Stampin' Up recently, looks more like this casing. It's not this older one. However, it's the same type of ink, and I have had a few people say to me, whether it's in real life, in person or online, saying I can't get on with that craft white ink, I don't get it, it doesn't work for me. So I'm just going to go over a couple of tips for how to get the most out of your craft white ink. So I've pulled out some really lovely images. Admittedly, some of them are quite floral, but I discovered that men are wearing floral nowadays. And so I've just pulled out some lovely line image drawings to see how that's going to go. And my plan is to stamp a repeat pattern, possibly with a bit of Night of Navy in the background to start off with, and then some white over the top. Now this is half a sheet of A4. Sorry, just knocked my camera there. So that's the other sheet. So it's going to give me, I'm going to have a couple of goes at this. So I'm going to start off with a fairly big image. This is the leaf from Daisy Lane, and as I said, I want to create a bit of a repeat pattern. So I'm going to just start down in the corner and do a couple of leaves. Now, some of the patterns that I saw on shirts were based on William Morris designs, and if you don't know much about William Morris and you love pattern, I do suggest you have a look and see what that might look like. There's a well-known clothing brand called Next that we have here in the UK, and I had to look at their shirts, and they've collaborated with the trustees of William Morris. Now, William Morris has been dead a long time, but the actual license holder for William Morris is very much alive and kicking, so you can't just go and copy their designs without their permission. They are licensed. So they've obviously gone into a relationship with Next and have created some really lovely shirts. So just filling in a bit of a repeat. Admittedly, it's not perfect, but it doesn't matter. We're just going to have a go and see where it takes us. And ooh, do I want to pop in something else while I'm here just to fill in that space? I think I will. So this is from a stamp set called Henna Hearts, and I really like the kind of line drawing on these. I thought it would be fun to use those. So this is just giving an overall kind of pattern. Put some in there. Would they be anywhere else? No, we'll leave that for now. All right, so then onto the top of that, although I'm just looking to see if I have got a few little gaps that might benefit from something else. Is it worth me putting something else in there? Maybe, yeah, there's a bit of a gap. Let's pop these in. So this is another little squiggle from Henna Hearts. Get that in. Perhaps I should have taken my time a little bit more to do the repeat better, but anyway, this is my first attempt, so on the second one I should improve. All right, so while this is drying, I'm just going to give that an extra few minutes. I'm just going to talk through the ink pad, the white ink pad. So when you receive the ink pad, it will be empty of ink, and so you will need to ink it up and pretty much put half a bottle of the the ink that comes with it. And then from time to time, like any ink pad, it will need re-inking. Now, the thing to be aware with this white ink is that it's super sticky. It doesn't behave like dye ink at all. This is pigment ink. So it holds colour, it holds pigment in a very different way than to dye. Dye ink tends to sort of soak into the paper. Pigment ink sits on top of the paper, so it does take a little bit longer to dry. So some of you who have been crafting a long time will be aware of other companies who produce whole ranges of pigment ink, and will know that you'd have to let it dry with, well, you have to either leave it dry overnight, or you need to use a heat gun and get some heat on it to get it to dry quicker. Alright, so just like the dye ink, you can squish the white ink there in. Now give that a good wash off. It's, as I say, it behaves very differently, and it's sort of sticking to it, which is a bit different to how the dye ink works. Right, so on the top of this, I'm thinking it'd be fun to stamp maybe some dragonflies and butterflies in a repeat pattern. When you go to ink your stamp up, don't be tempted to push too hard on the stamp and push in too much. The trick is to tap quite a few times. You can see I'm doing it quite a few times, because if you haven't used the stamp in this ink before, you need to really coat that area well, and keep checking it and making sure that the whole image is completely white before you attempt to stamp it. You've got to check it, because if you just do it 2 or 3 times, there won't be enough ink on there. Right, so I'm going to go with stamping my dragonfly there, and I'm just going to give it even pressure over the stamp before pulling off. And tap, tap, tap again. Now I don't have to tap as many times as I did right at the beginning, because it's already got that lovely coating on it. And then I'm going to pop a dragonfly here. So I'm trying to just repeat. So I've got the leaves that I stamped in a bit of a V shape, so I'm aiming my dragonfly for that section there. And what we're doing here is creating a background that would be really nice to use on a card. And you may decide to put a focal point on top of this as well, but to start off with, let's just create a really beautiful background pattern, and then we'll decide afterwards what to do with it. Now, much as I don't like beheading insects and animals, in this scenario I think we have to. Now, I'm wondering also if I would be seeing just the top of one here, maybe here as well, like so. Oh, I really like that. There's something really classy and beautiful about that. Right, so now I've got a butterfly, and I'm wondering whether just to repeat on top my dragonfly. It's a shame I haven't got a smaller dragonfly, like a smaller version of that, but the butterfly will have to do. There we go. Now it's a bit of a different design, but it's okay. Ooh, this is really quite fun. Oh no, I didn't ink up very well that one, so I'm just going to give it a little bit more attention. You can tell when you haven't inked up properly that the image is not as clear. So take that time, tapping, tapping, tapping. And don't be in a hurry to pull your stamp away as well. Give it a moment to draw in. All right, I like that. So now I feel like we've got a bit of a space. Oh, my line's gone off, but never mind. I have got these really sweet little flowers, and I wonder whether just to do some going up in that direction. yeah, perhaps in hindsight I would have drawn out some lines to keep me in check, to make sure that I had things kind of going up in the right direction, because I really want these to meet up, but they're they're a little bit skew-iff. So I know what, let's not do anything where it makes it obvious that they're out of joint. And I'm just going to stick a little flower at the top of these butterflies and leave it at that. And then on the next one I'll be a little bit more diligent. So there we go. So that's my first attempt at a shirt inspired pattern with a bit of kind of repeat pattern going on. Right, let's start again then. And I think this time I might, with my ruler and a pencil, you know, good old-fashioned pencil and ruler, who'd have thought it, eh? To create some lines. Now, I had a pencil out earlier. I seem to keep losing them, even though I have a whole little caddy here. No, that's a pen. Okay, so I know my cardstock is 21 centimetres across, so if I measure, it's 7 and 14. 7 and 14. I'll just take this opportunity to say hello to everybody who's watching on the premiere of this, because I am currently out and about doing a in-person workshop while this is premiering, or I may be returning from it actually. But anyway, I just didn't feel I was going to have the time to do an in-person and then come and do a live with you guys, so I decided to pre-record this. Right, much as I would love to have another go with that daisy leaf, I'm going to try it with this one. Now this is from Nature's Harvest, which was in the autumn mini catalogue last year, but is still available. Right, so I'm going to attempt to do a similar design. So I'm going to do 1, 2, so I've got a V, kind of V shape going there. Oh, and then if I, oh, that's close. I didn't think about that too much, did I? Let's do that. And then of course you'd get that one coming in from that side and that one coming in from that side. And then I'm going to swap it over and go, you know what, I'm going to draw a line. I think it would be easier if I draw a line. Should I do it 7 centimetres that way as well? Do 7 and 7. This will just help me keep to a pattern a bit stricter. So bear with. Yes, so that's why I've pre-recorded this. So this is Saturday afternoon that I'm recording this on, and had a day of trying to catch up with different things in my craft room. Haven't done any tidying yet. That'll come. Okay, so I've got that there. So I'm going to then do start at this point here. I'm not sure if I'm quite wanted to do it this way. Anyway, I started, so I'll finish. Let's do my little V's all along there. So I'm going to be adding a few more things into here. So, and then at the top, I'm just going to have the stalks showing. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it's worth it. There we go. Because that would be the repeat section. Right, I'm going to have a look and see what else I've got that I could stamp on here. Oh, I've got this lovely daisy. So this could take up a little bit more room, couldn't it? So let's pop this daisy at the top of the V, where it starts to V off. And oh, I wonder if we could do this. Yeah, okay. So at the top of the V, there, and then one there and one there. So top of the V, one there, there and there, top of the V. This is quite enjoyable. This is basically how people design patterns for clothes and things. Right, so at this point here you would see just the top of the daisies. So I'm going to pop those in. And then you would also see the half of that daisy there. And half of that one. There we go. Right, and then that just leaves a little bit of a space in the middle there for something. So let's see if that would fit, or if that's a bit too big. Oh no, I think that might be all right. So let's pop that slap bang in the middle there. Oh dear, probably done a little bit too much, but I've started, so I'm going to have to keep going. Get half one there, half one there. Yeah, that's probably a little bit too much, but I'm not going to worry too much because we've still got the white to come in and do yet. So, right, let's give that a moment to dry. And I did really enjoy singing the dragonflies, but I'm wondering whether to go in with something that has a little bit more drawing or pattern. I'm wondering whether the butterfly, so let's grab Butterfly Brilliance. And what I mean by that is inside these butterflies we've got a bit of shading, so these might work a little bit better, whereas the dragonflies are purely just lines. So I'll go for something too big. Actually, that would look good, wouldn't it? Let's try that. Just going to clean off that. So I'm sure you're all chatting to each other in the chat as normal. I think I called you all chatterboxes last time I did this, so I had to pre-record. Right, again, take your time to ink this up. There's no rush, because once you've stamped it down, if you haven't inked it up properly, you can't go back in and add to it. So take your time to ink. So I'm tapping. Lots of it, and I'm moving it around as well because I recently re-inked it, so I'm concerned there might be just sort of blobs of ink that haven't quite dispersed. So right, I think we're going to aim that body in between those flowers there for that V. Give that a little bit of a push. Oh, lovely. Yeah, so that's got a little bit more texture on it. So this stamp is from Butterfly Brilliance, and it doesn't come like this when you order it. If you want to use them singly, they need to be cut apart. So, and then of course we're going to have a half one there, and a half one over here. Lovely. So then I'm going to aim for in between the V. So this is why it is useful to just think about your pattern and create sort of memory points, if that makes sense. So if you think, okay, I've done a V there, I know that's a repeat, it's easy to spot in my design. It's like an anchor point. You can go back to repeat your pattern. Now I'm not sure if we're going to see much of this butterfly, but I am going to just pop that in there, 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 and there. Okay, right, I'm thinking now This butterfly would look nice now. Oh, shall we go for a different one? Yes. So this pattern is a little bit reminiscent of a while back. I did some sort of very symmetrical cards. So this technique is kind of harking back to that a little bit, really. So if you haven't seen that video, that was done a few months ago now. And similar colours actually. I think I stamped navy on white. I'll try and put a link to that one in the description. That's so funny. I just looked up to my computer screen to watch the chat and then I've realised, oh no, I can't see the chat. I'm filming this before the chat. Silly me. Right, I'm wanting to add just something. I wonder if that's going to fit. No, that's not going to fit. That's too small. I want to just put a little bit of a design in there. So I'm just going to have a quick look back at some of these stamps I've got on my table. No. Okay, I'm wondering whether to come in again with that flower just to add more white to this design. I'm being very gentle as I stamp it because it's such a small flower. It's very easy to over push down on these little ones. So, tiny little there. I wonder if I pop a little one at the base as well. Oh no, that's going to come in line now. Oh, I didn't think about that. So that would go there if it's coming underneath that butterfly. But then I'm going to end up with a line of flowers, which is not really what I wanted. Oh well, pretend I didn't do those ones at the bottom. I'm wondering if one's either side. So that's the only thing about repeat patterns. If you do it in one place, you're going to have to think, where else is it going to, what else is it going to affect? Oh, right, okay. Just looking around to see what else I've got. I've got this nice little scrolly one. No, I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. Just keep it simple. So that was the first one I stamped, and I used the leaf from Daisy Lane, the dragonfly from Dragonfly Garden, I was just checking the name of it there, the butterfly from Positive Thoughts, the squirrely whirly from Henna Hearts, and the tiny little flower from Dragonfly Garden as well. And so stamped that in some of it in Night of Navy, and then stamped over the top with Whisper White. And then same technique again, but this time I used the flower from Daisy Lane, not the leaf, and then used the butterflies from Butterfly Brilliance to do the butterflies on top. So that's my kind of masculine shirt inspired background papers. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. Now, obviously you don't have to use blue, you can use whatever you want. I had thought about maybe using Evening Evergreen, but I thought Misty Moonlight's about to leave us, so I'd want to make use of that. And the Night of Navy just looks great stamped on that. So yeah, do have a bit of an experiment, see how it turns out. Let me know which is your favourite. Just put in the description, sorry, in the comments. Sorry, my words are escaping me. Put dragonfly or butterflies. I know that has got a butterfly, but that one's got a dragonfly. So put dragonfly or butterfly is your favourite. Let me know which you prefer, and tell me what you think of this technique. And I think I'll be doing it again at some point, because I really like it, and it's opened up a whole world of possibilities to me that I'd not really kind of looked at before. So there we go. Right, take care everybody. I'm going to let you say goodbye to each other, because I know that you like to say goodbye, and I hope to see you again soon. Now Tuesday I have got my event for my customers and team, so I may or may not be back on Tuesday evening, but of course you can go and watch Esther at Stampin' Star Creations. She's my sister and she's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator as well, and she goes live at 9 o'clock on Tuesdays. And I'll be back again at some point on Wednesday. I have another in-person event on Wednesday as well, but I'll be back in time to do the Stamp One Sheet Wonder, hopefully. So take care for now everyone, and see you soon. Bye. Oh, don't forget to give me a thumbs up on the way out, please. Thank you. And of course you can buy all these products in my Stampin' Up! Shop, and the link is in the description. Bye.